So, oh, it seems that is your family. This is no.
That's me and one son, and then some other members of his soccer team.
Oh yeah. So
It was a kindergarten soccer.
oh yeah, this in the appreciation to our coach, your coach.
I was the coach for one. Yes.
Oh okay, so great, and you get your award present. What?
That was
For outstanding leadership or for
That was in, it's called University Governance. I was the chairman of the executive committee of the Faculty Senate.
mm-hmm.
So that was just a recognition of that service.
Yes, I remember that you have been department chair about 10 or 15
Well,
years.
actually, altogether, I've been department chair for 22 years.
22 years.
But not continuously.
Oh yeah.
I've been department chair now for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was not department chair for a little while, and then before that, 5 years.
Yeah. So this is a teaching award. Yeah. Oh, this is the 2003. This is your. I think this is your prize.
Yeah, that was a award for teaching,
Mm-hmm.
not nominated by some students
Okay.
for that award.
Yeah. Especially this is a Chinese acting.
Oh, yes.
What?
You know,
This is
many students, especially from Asia, bring
Uh-huh.
some gifts,
Okay.
and I can't keep all of them, but that's one I particularly like. I think.
Okay. Maybe this article comes from the China. I think this is very famous in China.
Is it?
But
Yeah.
maybe this isn't ready, but this is just a copy of
Yeah,
it.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. So let's. So I have some question about. Okay. Let's see here. So. Okay. I have just a couple of questions, which is my Chinese students very interested in. So. So today I'm honored to invite the Department of Economics chair to Joe to give some of their suggestion for international students, especially in Chinese students. And Joe is the chair of the economic department. You have come to this place from the 1976.
Yes, that's
I
right.
remember that.
1976.
Yes, so it's a long time you can still stay. I think that you didn't go to another university. You just stayed
Yes.
there.
Yes.
But it seems that you visited
Yes,
Japan,
I spent 1 year in Japan.
and go to another place to do some research.
Well, yes, in Japan, I was at the University of Tsukuba,
Oh yeah.
and I was doing teaching and research there
Mhm.
for 1 year as a visiting faculty member.
Yeah. From your letter, I see you go to Virginia to do some research. Yeah.
I worked before coming to KU.
Oh, okay.
In 1974 to 1976, I was working in a research institute in
Yeah.
it's Virginia, but really just outside Washington D.C.
Yeah.
In the Washington D.C. area.
Yeah. Joe has been in KU about the 40 years, almost 40 years, and has been the 40 maybe?
36,
Yeah,
I think.
36. Yeah. And has been the dean of the economics department about 20 years.
Yes.
Yes. it's
Although
a
we
long
say
time.
chair of the
Yeah.
economics department, not dean.
Oh yeah. Okay. What's the difference the chair department?
Dean usually means the dean of the school.
Oh,
Like there's the dean
yeah,
of the
yeah.
college,
I
or
see.
the dean of the business school.
Oh yeah.
And the department,
Just the
our
chair.
department is one department in the College of Arts and Sciences.
Okay. Okay. So I have some maybe 3 questions about Chinese students focus on. Firstly, could you introduce our department briefly?
Yes, we're a very general economics department.
Mm-hmm.
we have about 20 faculty members working in various different areas of economics, and we offer programs at undergraduate level and the master's degree program and PhD program. So we have a lot of undergraduate students, and currently on campus maybe 40 or 50 graduate students.
Yeah.
And working in various different areas with some specialties.
Yeah. Are there some of the are there some of the major of the research fields which have the competition in US there maybe just like some major just like labor economics or just financial economics?
What our field?
Yeah, in our department.
Yes, there are several fields, but many of our students currently are working in empirical macroeconomics. We have several faculty members in that field, which has some connections also with financial economics. So some faculty members in macroeconomics are also working in financial economics and also in international finance. That's one of our biggest areas currently, but we also have several other areas. Another very strong group, I think, is in theoretical microeconomics. And so in macroeconomics, we're more applied or empirical. In microeconomics, we have two groups. One is theoretical microeconomics, and then another group doing empirical microeconomics and labor economics and environmental economics.
Okay, so what are the major research fields on which our faculty focus?
Well, it would be some of those fields which I just mentioned, macroeconomics, and some related fields like financial economics and international finance is one of the big areas. Theoretical microeconomics is another major area of research. And then empirical microeconomics, labor economics, and public finance and environmental economics. And there are some other fields as well, but those are the three biggest fields in our department.
What's the most interesting research fields that the international students like?
International students have lots of have diverse interests as well. But I think macroeconomics again is one of the areas, and sometimes econometrics and theoretical microeconomics is another area. And of course, sometimes international economics, international finance or international trade are common interests.
Okay. So, in China, there are a lot of more and more students want to apply their economic department in KU or in US. So, could you give some suggestion about for the students? So, what kinds of qualifications that international students ought to possess if they want to apply the undergraduate degree or graduate degree of the economics in KU successfully?
Yes. Well, of course, one general area that's important is English. But that's usually
basic.
Right. So, and that's usually taken care of in a formal way by passing some certain test, either the TOEFL test, or if students want to apply for funding as graduate students, then there's a spoken test, which gives, if that's passed, then the students have a lot of opportunity to be, because then they can teach in the U.S. But in terms of other preparations, generally at the graduate level, we admit students from diverse backgrounds. But the two areas which are very helpful to be well prepared on is mathematics. Often students from China are well prepared in mathematics. On average, better prepared than the domestic students.
Yeah.
But of course, it's still important, calculus and linear algebra, and then additional mathematics could be important for the graduate level, like real analysis. But the requirements are calculus and linear algebra. And then I think it may not be a formal requirement, but it's very helpful for the students to have some good undergraduate economics courses.
Yeah.
Because, economics is not just mathematics. To understand what the problems are, what economists do, what kind of issues are important for research, it's good to have some background in those courses at the undergraduate level.
Yeah.
But that's not usually required.
Yeah.
But it's my feeling of it's helpful once the students come here. It's helpful for them to make good progress in their program, especially when it comes time to do research, so they can identify research topics and so forth.
Yeah. From my personal experience, I found that there are more and more Chinese students who comes from another research fields except economics, just like mathematics or just like physical. They also like to study economics in China. So could you give some suggestion for those students whose undergraduate degree is not economics, just like comes from another research field?
Well, I think there's lots of opportunity for those students because if they're coming from the fields you mentioned, like mathematics and physics, then they're very well prepared in the technical side of what they need for graduate school in economics. And a lot of other students are not so well prepared. And so their emphasis of the other students is getting better prepared in mathematics. These students, if they're coming from mathematics or physics, they're strong in that area. But then I think it's good for them to focus on some non-technical parts of economics. So they can read some economics at the undergraduate level, which is not heavily mathematics. So they can start to make the connection between the mathematical models and the applications.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's hard for me to give specific advice because there's many different things they can do. They can read on microeconomics or international trade, or public finance, just some less technical discussion because that will help them know how to interpret the mathematical models.
Yeah. So I think finally I want to give us some suggestions for the graduate students who want to go to US. What's the most important qualification for international students? How can they study economics well if they have stayed here, if they have come KU? How can they study economics well or progress more quickly in KU if they start KU?
You mean, I'm not sure, what can they do before they come to prepare themselves?
No, I just want to, if one person, one student has come in KU's economic department, and how can they learn the course well, how can they study economics more well, I think.
Well, I think they will get lots of suggestions in their courses for reading.
Yeah.
And sometimes the students don't read as much because they're focused on the class lecture. But if they talk to their teachers, at KU, we're a fairly small program.
Mm-hmm.
So the students can make close contact with the teachers.
Okay.
And I think it's very helpful for them to do that. Talk to the teachers about the course material, but also maybe more generally about economic issues, policy issues they read. Sometimes international students, on average, tend to be a little shy. They don't talk as much. And
they didn't always talk with the teacher, talk with their classmates.
Right.
Just read a book and calculate
right,
something. It's not very well.
Right. I think that's a good point. I think many international students would benefit through even social contact, but social or informal contact with teachers and also with fellow students.
Yeah, you're right.
And of course, students that are coming internationally, we appreciate that we admire them very much. They're studying a difficult subject in a different language, and that's very demanding. You know, it's very demanding on their time. And then I know that if they have some time to relax, they probably prefer to be speaking their native language with their other countrymen. And I understand that, but if you ask me for advice,